Imagine you're running a high-security facility. You've got, what, maybe 3,000 different data points?
Temperature, humidity, power.
All screaming for attention.
Yeah.
And you need to see all of it, right now. But here's the catch. You can't let a single byte of that data ever touch the public internet.
That is the ultimate paradox of modern infrastructure, isn't it? We want all the convenience of the cloud, the dashboards, the alerts.
But with the security of a concrete bunker.
Exactly.
And that brings us to the stack of documents for today's deep dive. We're looking at a piece of software with a terrifyingly long name. The NTI E-MNG-SHNR.
It's a mouthful, for sure. But it's basically a self-hosted enterprise environment monitoring system. And the mission here is fascinating because it really goes against the grain. It's all about being local only.
Okay, so let's unpack this before we get into the philosophy of it. What does it actually do?
At a functional level, it's the central brain. It's designed to unify up to 3,000 separate units.
3,000, that's a massive scale.
It is. And we're not just talking about one kind of device. The documentation lists a whole fleet of their hardware. You know, the E2D, E5B, micro units. It pulls everything together.
So it's the conductor for the orchestra. But the really interesting part, I think, is in the name itself.
Yeah.
That SHNR at the end.
Right. Which stands for self-hosted, non-renewing.
And non-renewing is the key phrase there. We're so used to the SaaS model, software as a service.
Where you pay every month.
Exactly. You pay a subscription, and if you stop paying, it stops working.
Well, this flips that completely. It's a one-time purchase. The price tag is, I think, $2,860. You buy it, you own it, period.
But it's not just about the money, is it? The source material makes a huge deal about the license being permanent for security.
That's the crucial insight. Because the license is permanent, the software has no need to phone home.
Ah, okay. A normal subscription needs the internet to check if your bill is paid.
Precisely. The SHNR version doesn't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't care.
Which means you can have a truly air-gapped system. You can stick this on a server in a basement with zero connection to the outside world, and it just keeps working.
It removes the tether. For someone managing let's say, a defense contractor's site or a critical data center, that silence is golden.
Okay, but usually when we talk about air-gapped systems, we're talking about a terrible user experience.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be physically standing at the server rack.
And that's where this thing is clever. It sort of creates a local cloud experience. It installs on standard Windows machines. And I mean everything from Windows 7 up to Windows 11 or Server 2008 to 2022.
It even runs on virtual machines like VMware.
Right. And even though it's locked down on the local network, it serves up an HTML5 web interface.
So anyone on your internal Wi-Fi can just pull it up in a browser.
Yep. On a smartphone, a tablet, whatever, no special apps to install, and it can handle up to 1,000 simultaneous users.
1,000. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about that interface, because looking at data from 3,000 sensors sounds like a spreadsheet nightmare.
It would be. Visual context is the solution. It lets you build custom dashboards, sure, but the killer feature is the floor plan integration. You upload your own facility maps.
So you aren't just getting an alert that sensor 402 is hot.
No. You're looking at a map of your building, and you see a flashing red icon in the northeast server row. It just cuts down the time to react.
And it also ties in visual proof, right? The IP camera integration.
It does. And it's not just a live feed, it's an event logger. So if a door sensor trips, it triggers the nearby camera to record for, say, a minute. It can save up to 1,000 of those clips.
You have a full audit trail. You know who opened that door.
And looking at the roadmap, they're doubling down on that physical digital link. They're working on something called liquid location detection plotting.
That sounds like something from a submarine movie.
Basically, if you have a rope leaks detector, it will plot on the map exactly where along that cable the water is touching.
That's incredibly specific.
And reinforcing that whole security theme, they're also adding offline license activation.
So you can spin the whole system up without it ever touching the web, not even for a second.
It closes the loop completely. It's really the ultimate tool for data sovereignty. You own the hardware, you own the data, and you own the software.
So what does this all mean then? We sort of assume the future is all subscriptions and cloud connectivity, but this proves there is a huge high-stakes market for doing things the old-fashioned way.
It really raises an important question. In an era where almost everything is becoming a service that you just rent, are we going to see a resurgence of permanence as a premium feature?
Something to think about next time your smart fridge won't dispense ice because the Wi-Fi is down. Thanks for listening.